It was just another cloudy Monday morning, and the world felt cold, both in weather and in spirit. The bus stop on Sycamore Avenue was filled with the usual mix of commuters: office workers with briefcases, students with half-sipped backpacks, and weary mothers juggling bags and toddlers. Among them stood Maya, a quiet 17-year-old girl wrapped in a large hoodie that swallowed her small frame. Her headphones were in, but no music was playing. She just wanted the world to leave her alone. Maya had always felt invisible after transferring to a new school mid-year. She'd struggled to make friends. Her shy nature made her an easy target, and she had started taking the bus early to avoid crowds, though it rarely worked. That day, like many before, the moment she boarded the bus, she felt the weight of eyes on her. At first, she tried to ignore it. She was used to whispers and stares. But today, something felt different. She found an empty seat in the middle and tucked herself against the window. As the bus rolled forward, a group of boys from her school got on at the next stop. Maya's heart sank. She knew them. Loud, cocky, the kind who laughed too hard and treated everyone like their personal stage. Their leader, Brent, spotted her immediately. "Well, look who it is," he smirked, swaggering down the aisle. The others snickered as they followed. Maya shrank into her seat, clutching her backpack to her chest. Brent slid into the seat beside her. Uninvited. "Why you always sitting alone, huh? Too good for us?" The tension in the bus shifted. Few people looked over, then quickly looked away. Maya's mouth opened, but no words came out. Brent leaned closer. "What, you mute? Now, you deaf with them headphones in?" She tried to turn away, but he reached for her hood, tugging it down. "Ah, come on, let's see that pretty face." She flinched. Her body screamed to run, but she was trapped. From the back of the bus, a voice cut through the air like a blade. "Hey, everyone." Turned, a man stood up, a tall, broad-shouldered figure in a worn leather jacket. His expression was calm, but his eyes held steel. He looked to be in his late 30s, a little rough around the edges, like someone who'd lived through more than he spoke of. In one arm, he cradled a lunchbox and a sketchbook, clearly heading to or from work. He walked slowly up the aisle, never raising his voice. "That seat taken?" Brent snorted. "Yeah, by me." The man ignored him completely. He looked at Maya with a warmth that made her feel like the sun had just risen inside the freezing metal box of the bus. He spoke gently. "You okay, miss?" Maya hesitated, her voice shaking. I guess. Mind if I sit with you?" Brent scoffed. "Dude, what's your problem?" The man didn't flinch. "My problem is that you're making a girl feel unsafe in a public space, and I don't like bullies." A few passengers started murmuring. Brent stood up. "Who even are you, man?" The man smiled slightly, but it didn't reach his eyes. "It's just a single dad who teaches his daughter that when someone's in trouble, you don't look away." Brent grumbled, clearly thrown off. His friends pulled at his sleeve, whispering. After a few tense seconds, they backed off, moving to the back of the bus with annoyed mutters. Brent gave Maya one last glance. Whatever. Freak. Maya sat. Frozen, trembling, the man slid into the seat beside her. "You all right?" "I think so," she whispered. He extended a hand. "Name's Caleb. My daughter's your age." "She's shy too. Not that being shy is a bad thing. Just means your heart's a little deeper than most people know." Maya managed a ghost of a smile. The bus rattled along as Caleb leaned back. "You know, I take this bus every day. Never seen you smile before?" "I usually don't," she replied honestly. "Me neither," he said with a chuckle. Until today, they rode in silence for a few minutes. And in that quiet, Maya felt something she hadn't in a long time. Safe. As the bus neared her stop, she gathered her bag. "Hey," Caleb said, "if anyone bothers you again, you don't need to deal with it alone. You come sit with me, all right?" Maya paused. "Why did you help me?" He looked out the window, his voice soft. "Because someone once helped my daughter when I couldn't be there. A stranger. It had changed her life." She nodded, swallowing, the lump in her throat. "Thank you." Caleb smiled. "You're not alone, Maya. Not anymore. As she stepped off the bus, the air felt different, lighter, warmer, and from the window. Caleb watched, making sure she got where she needed to go before disappearing into the crowd once more. The next morning, the bus felt different. Maya stood at the same stop. Hoodie still pulled tight over her head, but something in her chest had shifted. There was a strange flutter she hadn't felt in a long time, like hope had taken up residence. Where fear used to live. She hadn't told anyone what happened on the bus the day before, but it kept replaying in her mind like a movie she couldn't turn off. Caleb's voice, his eyes. The way he stood up, not with anger, but with quiet strength. A stranger had seen her, really seen her, and hadn't looked away. The bus screeched to a stop in front of her. Doors opened with a hiss. She climbed aboard, eyes scanning instinctively. The usual riders were in their places. Then, near the middle, she saw him. Caleb sat by the window, sketchbook open on his lap, pencil in hand. His eyes flicked up, and he gave her a small nod. Not dramatic. Not demanding, just ... welcoming. Maya walked toward him. Unsure of what to say, "You came back," he said gently. "Yeah," she replied, sliding into the seat beside him. "Good," he said, returning to his sketching. "Wasn't sure if I scared you off with my dramatic rescue." She smiled, genuinely this time. It wasn't dramatic. It was ... real. Caleb chuckled. "Well, I'll take that as a compliment." A comfortable silence stretched between them. Maya glanced down at the sketchbook and was surprised to see not landscapes or cartoons but faces, soft pencil drawings. Of people on the bus. A tired mother with a toddler asleep on her chest, an elderly man reading a newspaper, a teenager tapping at his phone. The small, unnoticed moments of life, frozen in graphite. "These are beautiful," she whispered. He shrugged. "Just something I do to pass the time. Are you an artist?" "I used to be," he said, then paused. Life had other plans. She sensed a story there but didn't push. Instead, she reached into her backpack and pulled out a small spiral notebook. She flipped through pages filled with scribbled poetry, quotes, ideas she never showed anyone. Caleb raised an eyebrow. Words. Instead of pictures, he said, "Same thing, just different colors." "I write when I'm scared," she said softly. He nodded. "I draw when I miss her, your daughter?" Maya asked. Caleb exhaled. "Yeah, Alina. She's 19 now, off at college. It's been 2 years since she left. She doesn't visit." He gave a half smile. "She tries. Good life's busy. I raised her alone since she was 5. Her mom walked out. I think Alina wants to be strong for me now, independent." "You must be proud," Maya said. "I am. But you know, no matter how old they get, you never stop worrying. Never stop wondering if they're okay. Someone's there for them when you can't be." That hit Maya like a punch in the gut. "Did something happen?" she asked. He was quiet for a moment, then said, "Yeah. One day she called me crying. Said a guy followed her from the bus to her dorm. Tried to talk to her, got angry when she ignored him. She said she froze. Didn't know what to do. This older woman saw what was happening and stepped in, told the guy to back off. Called security, stayed with her until she felt safe." Maya swallowed hard. "I remember thinking, what if that woman hadn't been there?" Caleb continued. "What if no one had noticed?" He looked at her, eyes kind but fierce. "So now when I see someone in trouble, I don't look away." Maya felt her throat tighten. "I'm glad you didn't," she said. Over the next week, their morning rides became a ritual. Caleb always sat in the same spot. Maya always found him. We talked, shared stories, traded drawings and poems. They never exchanged phone numbers, never followed each other on social media. It was as if the bus had become their own little world, 1 hour every day where time paused and healing began. Then, one Friday morning, Maya didn't show up. Caleb waited. The bus pulled away. "No, Maya." He tried not to worry. Maybe she was sick. Maybe she missed the bus. But when the same thing happened Monday, and then Tuesday, the sketchbook in his lap remained unopened. Maya stood in front of the school bathroom mirror, eyes swollen from crying. She had spent the weekend curled under a blanket, replaying what happened in her mind. Brent hadn't stopped. After their first encounter on the bus, he'd kept his distance for a while. But at school, things escalated, whispers behind her. Back turned into cruel notes left in her locker, and the messages started. On social media, on her phone. Anonymous at first. Then not so anonymous. "You think you're safe with your bus boyfriend?" One message read. "Won't always be around. To save you," Maya reported it. The school looked into it. But Brent came from a wealthy family. A football player. Charismatic. Untouchable. She stopped going to the bus stop. Started taking different routes. Walking long distances just to avoid him. Somehow, he always found her. She felt powerless. Until Wednesday. That morning she woke. Up to find her sketchbook missing, her safe place, her therapy, gone. Later, she found it tripped, torn, pages missing, dumped in the trash outside the gym. Her poems shredded. She ran home and broke down. That evening, her phone buzzed. A single message from an unknown number. "You stopped showing up. I hope you're okay. I'm still on the bus. The seat's still open." "See?" Maya stared at the screen for a long time. Then, slowly, she packed her bag. And the next morning, she walked to the bus stop. When the bus doors opened, Caleb almost didn't recognize her. She looked smaller, her eyes tired. But she walked straight down the aisle and dropped into the seat beside him. "I missed you," he said quietly. "I thought hiding would make it stop," she whispered. "It didn't." Caleb waited, giving her space. She took a breath. "Hurt me. Not just with words. They broke my stuff. Threatened me." His jaw tightened, but he didn't speak. He let her keep going. "I feel like I'm drowning every day." Then her voice cracked. "But you pulled me out, even if just for a little while." Caleb nodded. "Then let's make sure you don't go under again." "What can I do?" she asked. "The school won't help. My parents don't listen. No one believes me." "I believe you," he said, with so much certainty it brought tears to her eyes. "And I know someone who can help." 2 days later, Maya walked into the principal's office with a woman by her side. A lawyer. Caleb had called in a favor from an old friend of family advocate specializing in teen harassment cases. Within 48 hours, statements were taken. Evidence reviewed. The social media messages, the torn notebook, even CCTV footage from school. And thanks to Maya's courage, the school board had no choice but to act. Brent was suspended indefinitely. His football scholarship revoked. Investigations were opened. For the first time, Maya saw justice. 1 month later, Maya sat alone on the bus. Caleb's seat was empty. She missed him. He'd told her he had to change jobs, new shift, new route. They'd hugged that last morning, both pretending it wasn't goodbye. But he had left her with one final gift. A wrapped package, handed to her gently. Inside, a framed sketch of her sitting in the bus seat, looking out the window, headphones on, sunlight touching her face. And written at the bottom in Caleb's neat handwriting, "You are not invisible. You are not alone." "See?" Maya looked out the window, her heart full. She wasn't the same girl who had boarded that bus weeks ago. She was stronger, braver, louder. She had started writing again, publishing her poems on a small blog. Her story was reaching others girls like her, who thought no one would listen. And every morning, she saved a seat. Not for Caleb, for whoever needed it.